Hi guys, now I'm outside of one of my HMOs and I've got some decisions to make. You can see it just behind me there, and I've got some decisions to make with this one on what do I do with it. As many of you will know, I've been turning my HMOs into serviced accommodation. Have a look at my other videos why I've got a bit of a bee in my bonnet about my HMOs at the minute. But this particular one, oh, by the way, for those of you that have done my training course, you hear that there's a bit of banter between me and Caroline, my other half, about whether or not this HMO is a semi-detached. So that's one side of the HMO, okay? And then this is the next door. So as you can see, there is also daylight, okay? So that makes it semi-detached. Okay, so I was definitely right on that one, semi-detached HMO. Those of you that have been on mine and Caroline's training, you'll know what I'm going on about there. So I win. Anyway, it might only be a small gap, but hey, how much more gap do you need, right? So, right, what are my decisions with this property? Now, if I was going to turn this into a whole house SA, as you can see, there's limited parking, so that's something that I'm going to have to consider, because currently this is a 7-bedroom HMO. Now there is a self-contained flat, but again that's going to need potentially a parking space if I was to do that separately. And also the remaining 6 rooms, I would turn one of those into a lounge, so it would be a 5-bed. So it would be a 5-bed house, potentially I'm using as SA, and then a self-contained flat. And obviously the thing that I've got to consider is the parking. So do I only do the flat and then keep the remainder as SA? Now this is the separate access. I'll go down there in a minute, where somebody could go into the self-contained flat and not need to go into the HMO. But okay, so hold that thought. I'll come back to that in a minute. Typical bin store for HMOs, as you've probably seen. Now then, let's just go inside a second and I'll tell you what the issue is. Okay, now, so currently this self-contained flat is empty. So I served notice on the tenant and got the property back. Those of you that want to know why I'm keener to serve notice on tenants now, just have a look at the Renters Reform Bill that's coming in, and it's going to be very, very hard to get your properties back from tenants moving forward. But I won't go into all that. Just have a look at my other stuff here. Okay, so I've stepped outside because I was getting bad signal inside. Now, I'm having quite a bit of work done here. So I've had all this done. Obviously the weeds need sorting, but apparently there's people coming back Monday to do all that, to get rid of the weeds. And also having to put in a drain along the side of the property to keep the water away from the walls to stop rising damp. I don't want to go in for too long because I'll lose signal, but along this wall here on the right hand side there's been some rising damp. Now I've had it treated, I've had it hacked off, I've had it injected and then replastered, but it's now coming back through, so the contractor has got to come back and fix it again, which is a bit of a pain because carpets have gone down now, etc, etc. Now what I did do, little top tip, is I knocked next door and they were happy for me to go in and have a look at the party wall to see if there's any rising damp happening there, and there isn't any rising damp happening on their side. So the contractor's not going to be able to blame it on next door, needs to get theirs treated, otherwise they're not going to succeed because there's no damp next door. So it's definitely up to him to rectify his work and to redo it if necessary, and doing the membrane and the injecting once again. Now then, so I could potentially just do this flat. That's the access that the guests could use from the street to come in and just have self-contained. Let me go inside. As you can see, it's got its own little bathroom here and a self-contained kitchen, and then the the bedroom, if you like, is self-contained, so it's going to be a sort of bedroom stroke lounge in there. So this, yes, this could be self-contained, but the issue is going to be, for me, the rest of the house. Could I really use it as a 5-bed SA house? That's going to come with a challenge because of parking. Because potentially there could be, more than one vehicle. And in with one vehicle, it's going to be tight at times. Now, let me go into the house. Let me see whether or not I managed to keep signal. The other issue I've got is licensing. So if I lose signal, bear with me. Hopefully it'll come back. I'm going to go into the house and then go into the kitchen for upstairs. Okay, we didn't seem to lose signal now. So I'm in the kitchen upstairs now, and it's a little bit tight. So I've had this HMO, it's not that tight, but I've had this HMO for a number of years now, and the licensing is coming up next month to reissue the license. Now, when this local authority, so we're in Oxfordshire, when this local authority renewed the license on one of my other HMOs there, they actually made us lose a bedroom and create a much bigger kitchen. And it actually cost about 45 grand to do the work. Again, that's in another one of my videos, but it was a lot of work. Needed a full rewire to be messing about with the house to the extent we had to. And ultimately, I lost a bedroom, had to create a much bigger kitchen, even though there were 2 kitchens on 2 floors. And if you added up the room sizes of those 2 kitchens, it would have met the minimum room size for one, but hey, local authority still made us do it. Now, what I'm imagining is they might refuse this one. Okay, well, I've had the tape measure out and it's a bit tight. They might refuse this one, and then I've definitely got a decision to make there, because I'm not going to spend a fortune on losing a bedroom to create an extra larger kitchen on this property. I'll just might have to suck it and see, turn it back into a house, and see how it goes with SA, and if not, potentially even sell the property, right? So that's issues that HMO landlords have got. Renters reform bill, energy bills much higher. I own this house in my own name, so I've got mortgage on it. So Section 24 is a problem because I can't offset my mortgage interest against the rental income, and as we know, mortgage interest has gone up, and so those costs are a lot higher. So I've definitely got a decision to make with this house, what to do with it moving forward. What do you think? These are issues that landlords are experiencing, and for those of you that are interested in doing rent to SA or SA management, these are issues that HMO landlords are experiencing right now, and it's definitely something that should be getting your attention, because again, most landlords just hand the property over to a letting agent, and when they decide to get out, you could be the alternative, because you could do rent to SA or SA management with their properties instead, helping them out of a lot of these issues that are currently going on. Now, obviously, with this particular house, the issue would be parking. Okay, that's going to be the issue with a large SA house. Potentially a 5-bed house in the 2 floors upstairs, and a self-contained flat downstairs, and the extra addition to parking that might create. The local authority could argue that constitutes a material change of use with regards to the requirement for parking, but HMO tenants are allowed cars as well, so I could probably argue that one. But okay, so I just thought I would share that. I happened to be here in Banbury at the time, and I thought I'd do a little. I was meeting the agent and having a look at the damp issues that are currently going on here, and just thought I'd do a little video just to share what's going on in the world of a property investor. Let me know what you think. I'll answer in the comments. Take care. Remember, everyone, your future needs you.